Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adam. If you love luxury fashion, then you definitely love my channel. So make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my Instagram below for all of the latest updates. And today, let's get right into it. Today's video is completely different than any other video here on my channel. Today, I actually teamed up with one of my favorite comic book stores in California called We Can Be Heroes. Now, if you're not familiar with We Can Be Heroes, they just have the cutest little comic book store in California. They have so many random toys, comic books, and souvenirs, and so many things that are like brand new condition from the 90s as well. So it actually is really, really cool. So I'm so excited to show you guys. So without any further ado, let's go to We Can Be Heroes in Chatsworth, California, and see what they have to offer. We are now with Donnie in front of WCBH Studios, which stands for We Can Be Heroes, which honestly, for a comic book store, tell me that is not the most perfect name for one. Walking into the store, I was very lucky because I was able to film while the store was actually closed and do a really cool private tour for you guys, so you guys can honestly get the best views of the store possible and really see what they have to offer. Like right here, we can see so many cool electronics. Like right away, we see the TV that's shaped like cars, but even right under it, they have a SpongeBob version as well. Even a cool little like Blockbuster sign up top. So it's just like so cool and so vintage. However, right away, yes, the gizmo in front of us is the cutest little thing in the world, but we do have a Superman TV, but it's actually pink and white, which is totally giving me like Power Rangers, but it's honestly so cute. So how can you not love that? We even have a Hello Kitty laptop desk. So that desktop is just so cute and genius. So if you are a Hello Kitty collector, this is honestly the perfect one for you. Obviously, I was so happy because they didn't really have too much Barbie, but they did have one Barbie. So obviously, I had to obtain it. And I'm just so happy to include this into my collection, and possibly by now they will have more Barbies. First section we are looking at, we can see this really cool game set of Game of Thrones. So again, for collectors, this is going to be so perfect for you. Of course, right under that, we have so many cool superheroes, but also Godzilla. So obviously the three-headed dragon was 100% my favorite out of Godzilla. So the fact that they even have this toy, it's so cool and so 90s. But right under it, we do have a lot of Batman from the Dark Knight series, and it's just so cool because again, so many collectibles. They have GI Joe, they have the Simpsons, even a giant Power Ranger set at the very bottom of it. So honestly, I kind of really love this because it's like going to like a candy store. You never know what you're gonna find, but there's so many cool things. Like over here, there's even a cute little Kill Bill set. Personally, I have never seen Kill Bill toys, so the fact that they exist, well, here we go. They also have these really cool pinball machines. One is even Venom, which obviously Venom is so classic, but they also have the Avengers game. Now, unfortunately, the pinball machines are not for sale, but there is actually a company that constantly like switches them out. But the cool thing is, if you do play these pinball games and if you have an account, wherever you find these pinball games, you can track your previous status. So it actually really, really is cool because it's kind of like a vintage Nintendo 64 game, like when you like link up with random people and you can play your previous games. So the fact that they have that is actually so cool. But like if you do come to the store and you want to play a game or maybe even grab a snack from the vending machine, you can totally do so. Now, one of my favorite walls that they do have is this right here because I love the Ninja Turtles. And honestly, look at how many Ninja Turtles they actually have. They have every single one you can imagine. But also, I don't know why, but the cute little guy in like the dinosaur costume on the second shelf, I just think he's so cute. Now, I did not buy him, but after editing this video, I actually think I want to go back and get him because he's just so cute. He actually reminds me of Butters from South Park, but if you know who this character is supposed to be, definitely comment it down below. Scrolling over here, we do see a lot of vintage Superman toys, but even Star Trek. And I can tell you right now that Captain Kirk is so hard to find in current day, but what's even harder to find is the magical Burger King man. So, like, literally, I've never even heard of this toy before, but how vintage is that? It's honestly just so 90s. But even the Batman set over there, like, that's actually a really cool collector set. And the price on it is really good too. It's only $10. So the fact that that is only $10 is honestly a steal. But they do have a lot of Walking Dead toys too. So if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, the store is absolutely perfect for you. Down low, we do have a lot more G.I. Joes, more Simpson characters as well. And again, The Simpsons, I love The Simpsons. Like, finding that dog toy is so difficult, but I love it so much. But one thing that I truly do love, because I actually did have it in my own childhood, was the Toy Story 3 Buzz Lightyear. Now, I used to have a Buzz Lightyear that used to press buttons, light up, and say to infinity and beyond. And the fact that, they still make it is absolutely so perfect. But also, the Ronald McDonald guy is just so random. Checking out this wall over here, we can see a lot of cool Pokemon backpacks up top, and they actually have a lot of Pokemon backpacks. But when we zoom in, we can see so many more Star Wars toys, Hellboy toys, even Transformers, which they have so many Transformers memorabilia that it's actually so cool. But in here, I'm even seeing some Mortal Kombat toys too. So the fact that they even have Mortal Kombat, they literally have everything. However, let's give it up for their Power Ranger section. Because yes, immediately we can see the super cute pink Power Ranger, but they even have the giant turtle, which the turtle is actually a huge collectible. Along with the villain from Power Rangers, the guy that kind of looks like the pyramid guy, very Egypt-like, he is so cool. However, if you do zoom in, right behind him, they have that scarecrow guy. So he looks like a scarecrow, but he's wearing a top hat. And honestly, it's one of the most hardest Power Ranger toys you could actually find. But the fact that they have it, again, like, what don't they have? On the very bottom row, of course, they do have more Ninja Turtles. They even have some items from the X-Files as well, along with some wrestling people too. So again, if you love Ninja Turtles, wrestling, Power Rangers, absolutely perfect for you. However, I do just want to scroll back up just so we can get a really cool shot of this mask. Now, I don't know who this mask guy is from, but if you know, definitely comment down below. But right behind him, you can see the Mortal Kombat toys that I was actually talking about earlier. So again, so super cute. However, really quickly, just to go back to the Power Rangers, I actually just noticed they have the pig. Now, the pig is so hard to find, and I remember he scared me so much as a child. But again, like, I'm so impressed about their Power Ranger section. Now we have their Funko Pop wall, and honestly, they have so many Funko Pops from literally everything you can imagine. Now, in the very top row, I think it's so cute because they do have Georgie from It, and you know me, I absolutely love It. But in the second row, you can see a lot of Disney characters. You can see Cinderella, you can see Spider-Man, even Mysterio from Marvel, which is honest, like, I don't really think they even make too many things from him. So that's so cool. But in the corner, you can even see Nosferatu. And honestly, the new movie, I didn't really care for the new version of Nosferatu, but the toy itself is actually really, really cute. And right next to him, they actually have Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. So how is that not like the cutest thing in the world? However, when we do go to the right, we can see that they have Gaston, a golden statue of Liberty, but even Fallout Boy from The Simpsons. And again, Simpsons is just so cute. But I was so happy to see that they actually had the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, because I actually never seen this Funko Pop before, but I love Christmas and I love decorating. So honestly, this would be perfect for the Christmas season. However, I think we can all tell my all-time favorite Funko Pop that they did carry is the Barbie and Ken, especially the fact that they're rollerblading together. It's just so cute. And you know me, I love Barbie, I love Ken, so it was absolutely perfect. However, to the right, they actually have the entire Stranger Things set, even the giant one with 11 when she's in the lab, and that's actually kind of a hard Funko Pop to find. But all of these are just so cool. So also comment down below, are you excited for the new season of Stranger Things? We have a few more Funko Pops down here as well, but these are all like Christmas related and they're cute little babies. Like, we can see cute little Goofy as a baby, and is that not just the most adorable thing you've ever seen? But they even have Pluto. Like, the fact that they have Pluto is so perfect. But right in the middle, they actually do have Frankenstein as well. And the Frankenstein is actually really, really cute. So props too, we can be heroes for that. However, on the very top row, they have like every Star Wars character you can imagine. And again, these are the classic toys too that were in the early 2000s, the 90s. So these are really, really great sets. and they're all in perfect condition too. So if I'm going to be honest, the amount of products that the store does carry in brand new condition, I'm honestly very surprised by it and impressed because it's hard to find such good quality boxes these days. But I mean, just everything they have. Look, you can have every character you can imagine from Star Wars. But I will say that right below on the Ninja Turtle shelf, they do have this RV, and this RV is actually a huge collectible, especially when it comes to the Ninja Turtles. So that's actually really rare that they even have that. And it's new in box too, which is nearly impossible to find. One of my favorite sections was the stuffed animals because obviously we've seen Bubbles, and you know me, I love the Powerpuff Girls and I love Bubbles. It's just so cute, and I do want her. However, they have Gurr as well, and obviously Gurr was my favorite from Invader Sim, and it's just so cute, but the fact that they have it's so random. They even have Bats Maru from Sanrio dressed as a Care Bear. But they just have so many cute items, like they have Eve from Pokemon. They have Pikachu, who's dressed up as a cute little purple ghostly guy. But of course, we see Blossom as well from Powerpuff Girls. However, they didn't have Buttercup, so Buttercup must have sold, but they still have Blossom and they still have Bubbles. They do have these really cool X-Men shoes as well. They were the A6 X-Men shoes, and they were actually signed by the voice of Rogue from X-Men 97. However, they did unfortunately did sell, but it was really cool that they had it. And again, they always have like the rarest and coolest stuff, so definitely check out the store. Yes, they do have more stuffed animals as well, which we will take a look at in just a moment. But let's take a moment to admire their cute little mannequin that they did make themselves. Now, the fact that they actually did put this very vintage Nickelodeon looking like TV on the mannequin is just so cute with the sunglasses and the smiley face and the hat hanging off the side. I actually genuinely think this is just so cute and such a genius creative idea. But going back to the stuffed animals, I was so happy to see the Sanderson sisters. Now, the Sanderson sisters are obviously from Hocus Pocus. You do get all three of them for $27, which actually is not a bad price for it because I believe it was actually a little bit more at Target. But they do even have Sadness as well from Inside Out 2. And she is just honestly one of my favorite characters from the movie. And even though you might think like, oh, it's sadness, like sadness is actually filled with so much happiness, and she causes so much joy in the movie that it's kind of poetic in a sense. Obviously, we have Monsters Inc., which he is honestly so adorable. I actually did dress as him for Halloween when I was a kid, and it's like one of my most iconic Halloween costumes. But I love the fact that they have the blue Pac-Man guy behind him because the blue one has always been my favorite for some reason. I just think he's so cute and adorable, and I love him. For their comic book wall, they had a huge selection. However, their selection, they do change it every single week on this wall, but you can see so many cool ones like Kung Fu and the Smurfs and the Hulk. But then when we go over here, you can see that it's honestly an endless wall of great treasures. Right here, we do have the Amazing Spider-Man comic books, which are totally a classic. It actually was my brother's favorite, but right above it, you can see the Fantastic Four as well. And again, they have like every edition you can imagine. They even have comic books from Doom. Then scrolling down here, you can see that they do have a lot more comic books in the actual comic book boxes as well. However, they are very, very well organized. But in this specific shelf, I thought it was funny because there's a comic book called Evil Ernie, and I just thought it was like such like a random and cute name for a comic. So I'm genuinely curious on what that is even about. Then moving over to the second wall, again, we can see a huge variety of selections, including Superman, and one even called Angela, which I've never heard of. And again, there's so many comic books here that I've never heard of. But if you are a true comic book fanatic, then you probably know. So comment down below if you know most of these. However, scrolling down here, you can see that there are endless comic books, but on the bottom of the wall is really cute home decor pictures, so you could actually hang it up and have a cute little comic book for home decor. But as you see, they just have so many different options, so definitely comment down below. Did you see anything on this wall? Now, next to the comic book wall, they do have these giant Ninja Turtle statues. And yes, I did try to buy them actually, but they are not for sale. But maybe if you go and you offer like 2,000 for them, they might say yes. But they are not for sale, but you can definitely try because they're just so cute. I really wanted Donatello, the purple one, because that would just be so amazing. However, in this specific case, they have a lot of really fun, unique stuff as well. Like they have the Iron Giant up top, and the Iron Giant is one of my favorite movies, but they do also have a couple Barbies in the back as well. So cute. Here we do have a lot more superheroes as well, like we can see the Hulk, and then we even have like a stretchy version of the Hulk too. but also the Iron Man in the back is really, really cool. I mean, there is a Pinocchio laying down in front too, which is a little bit random, but honestly, like, for your Shrek collection, he'd be perfect. Now, of course, they do have a box of cereal, but the only reason why they do carry some unique boxes of cereals is if it's a special collaboration. Now, I'm not sure what collaboration this specific brand of Reese Puffs is, but if you know, definitely comment it down below. But as we can look here, we do see a really cute Hello Kitty pest dispenser, but also a lot of really cool X-Men toys too. However, in the right, we do have a lot of ornaments as well, like Lilo and Stitch and the cute little marshmallow guy. So very cute. Taking a closer look at some of the toys they do have in the case, it's actually really creepy, that clown right in the middle. I don't know what that clown is from, but that is so creepy. But you can see a very cool selection, like that Joker in the back. That Joker, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually really, really cool. I would actually just get that for my collection just to sit around. And then going back up to the very top shelf, you can see that they do have some cool collectibles of Marvel Legends series, but also the cute little Teletubbies, but even the Flash. So honestly, like whatever character you are looking for, you can find here. Now, for the comic books that are not on the wall, they are organized so greatly. Like here we can see Batman and Scooby-Doo. However, there was one specific section I liked right over here, right in front of G.I. Joe. And can you guess who specifically I was looking for? Elvira. They had so many Elvira comic books and stuff. It was just so cool. Now, I actually did get a couple of these because I absolutely love Elvira, and the fact that, like, it was just so amazing. So this is actually the one that I did pick out myself because I loved the cover of it, so I absolutely had to have it for my Elvira collection. So again, I'm so happy that they do have such a cool selection. But they even have the Disney gargoyles, and I never see this absolutely anywhere. And for the price of $6, like, you can honestly not beat that price. So their Disney section is really, really cool for their comic books. However, of course, they have Wonder Woman and World of Wonder, but they do have Batman, Superman, and just every classic one that you can think of. But the Scooby-Doo ones made me so happy. However, it was so funny because I ended up pulling out this comic book titled Scratch. And this actually reminds me of, do you remember that episode of SpongeBob when Sandy the squirrel wakes up from hibernation and she turns into this like giant rat of a beast? That is totally what Scratch reminds me of. So that's just very, very cute. I was really happy to say that I was actually gifted this comic book, and this is called Rawhide Kid. Now, this is actually one of the only comic book series where the main character is actually gay, and there's actually a lot of explicit content in it. So this one is actually a huge collector, but since I was making this video for the store, I was gifted a couple really cool comic books, and this is one of them. So I love having this for my collection. Now, in some of my favorite display cases, we do see the DC superheroes. We have Robin, but we even have this really cute Tom and Jerry over here as well. But this one is definitely my favorite because they have a lot of Labubu's. So they do have this super cute rare green Labubu, which they do sell at Five Below, but they're constantly sold out. They are so hard to get. But the fact that they actually had one here is absolutely genius. They also have this really cute Pop Mart one, the Monsters One Piece series, and that is so cool because honestly, it's so hard to get the ones you want. But the fact that they actually have a high selection of Pop Mart and Labubus here is actually really cool, and we will see more Labubus later on too. Looking over here in the case, we do see a lot more Star Trek ones, but a lot of cool G.I. Joe ones too, because I know a lot of people who actually do collect G.I. Joe, and the amount of vintage G.I. Joe stuff they have is like never ending. One thing that totally surprised me is they had Tendril from the series Inhumanoids, and he is insanely hard to find. Now, this is a very cool vintage piece. It is priced at $200, so if you are looking for one of these, this is actually the place to go because there is only one of these, so if you do want it, definitely act fast. Getting into the last few sections, we do have their Pokemon section, and their Pokemons are honestly just so cute. Obviously, they have that really cool Charmander at the upper left corner. They have the cute little Squirtle, but down here, they have so many Meowths, and the Meowths are absolutely so cute. I'm actually still considering buying one of them, just because, like, for decoration, like, why would you not want a cute little Meowth? And last but not least, they had a huge selection of Labubus, the big energy versions. Now, these are so cute. I actually have so many Labubus, and they actually all come from this store, and I always get the best ones when I come to this store. So if you are looking for very cute Labubu's and the Big Energy series, We Can Be Heroes comic book store in Chatsworth, California is definitely the place to go. In this video, we did see so many great items, and I'm honestly really surprised by how fast they actually sold out, because I did actually record this video back in August, and when I came in September, everything that I wanted was actually sold out. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really surprised that everything was pretty much gone. However, they do have so many new cool stuff. They constantly refill absolutely everything. So the variety they have is just honestly insane. But they are just so sweet, because during this video I was gifted a lot of Elvira comic books, and I love my Elvira comics. I just love Elvira in general, and they have such a huge selection of her, but also just so many rare comic books as well. I was also gifted like a whole stack of just like random comics, but like this is just so cute. Like Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is just like such like a cute little kid's book as well. But one that I actually do really love is this Emma Frost Snow White Queen. And this is just so cute. Like, I technically don't really know what this is, but just like the cover and everything, it's just so me aesthetically. So you know me, I actually have a library. I have an entire video of all my luxury fashion books, and all of the comics are gonna go with it. So I'm just so excited. Now, this one's specifically for my brother because he loves this so much, and he's gonna be so surprised that I actually will be surprising him for that with Christmas, and I'm just so excited. But even like this one, like look, she has like a cute little like beak on her like face. Like who would have even thought? Now I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these I don't really know what they are, but for my collection, they're just so cool, and I just love stuff. Like Godzilla, of course we all love Godzilla. Again, earlier in the video, I said I love the three-headed beast. That one is actually so cool. But also Thor. Like this one is actually going to my mom for Christmas because she loves Thor so much, especially the Chris Hemsworth version of it. So she's just totally gonna get like a kick out of that. But it's just so cute. Like even like Good as Dead, you know? It's just like perfect for like family Christmas gifts. So if you are interested, again, definitely check them out. We Can Be Heroes in Chatsworth, California. They just have so many cool random stuff. Like it's honestly worth checking out. However, they do have a different couple podcasts as well. So here on YouTube, you can actually type in Rumble Spoon, where they do a weekly live show every week, and it's so good. I love it so much. And the chemistry between everybody on the podcast, it's honestly just so good. So definitely go check them out. However, they also have an actual podcast as well, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Music, really anywhere that you go get your podcast. Just type in The Real Short Box, and they go over movies, events, and comic books, and just pretty much everything in like the Marvel universe, comic book world, game world. So it actually really is perfect. So I know a lot of people who love video games, comic books, and like the superhero movies. So if you are a fan of anything that I did say, definitely go check out their podcast. Everything will be linked in the description below, as well as the actual store address. So, you know, do them a favor, go check them out, because it's honestly so worth it, and they really do deserve more attention as well. But honestly, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it, and you make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Au revoir.